So that's the tragedy of finding truth in our mind. And so when we sit in quiet, and just watch everything that disappears when you're not grasping at your mind. And you can't make yourself not grasp, can you? The more you try, the more you do, right? So you just sit there, and there'll be these little moments. They may be like little flashes, like a little flash of a light. It's just click, and just that you can't make happen, but they will happen just because you're paying attention. You can be totally lost, and then all of a sudden flicker. It might be just a moment. And in that moment, in that flicker between thought, there's that moment of peace. It may last longer. You can't make those moments happen, but you can notice them when they do happen. And then you can be literally living in one of those moments, and you realize, my God, nothing exists in this moment. Nothing that my mind thought was true exists in this moment. Reality goes on just fine though, right? The world goes on, you're still breathing, and you're still, everything that's happening is still happening. The world doesn't fall apart, cars don't come to a screeching halt. Nothing changes, except you realize everything actually can go on without my thinking about it. And my thinking about it isn't true. The world doesn't need what I think about it. So this in itself is a huge insight. It's really quite immense when one sees it for oneself. You can hear it for years and years, but the moment you see it, it's amazing. It doesn't mean your thinking will stop. It doesn't mean it will never come again. It just means that once you've seen it, you know. Once you've seen that the whole world of thinking isn't a real world. Once you've seen it once, you can't conveniently unsee it. You may forget it, but even when you forget it, you still know. All you can forget is an experience. You can't forget the knowing. And so even spiritual inquiry, like we do here, spiritual inquiry is only meant to break down our adherence to finding truth in thought. That's all inquiry is for. If you think that inquiry is about finding truer thoughts, you miss the point of it. Then you're still in the domain of thinking. I'm inquiring, I'm asking myself deep questions, who am I, what is life, in order to get good thought-based answers. Then it's still part of the dream state. Inquiry is actually meant to break down the gravitational pull of thought. And when it's broken down enough, awakening happens all by itself. Mm-hmm. The awakening part, one can't force to happen. And even when that happens, many people, probably most people, will still at times forget, and they'll actually start to find truth in their thoughts again. They may even find truth about what they realize in their awakening. Their mind will grasp it, turn it all into a thought, a nice formula, something that can be spoken to your friends, very easily, or written in a book, this is the truth. Your mind turns it into thought, writes it down or thinks about it, and then says, that's it, that's the truth. See, it says right here.